Hello, hello. Let's check. We're in the right group. I'm like obsessed with this song, I swear. Eight. Let's see, am I coming up on the feed? I don't see me. Uh-oh. Se vuole party. Let's see. Okay, there we are. Hello, Puppet. Se vuole party. Who acts like they know French when this song comes on? All right, beautiful, beautiful souls. Okay, wonderful. Hello, it is Tanya Chen, your relocation coach. Super jazzed to be here. Today I'm cheating on coffee because you should always do, well, I don't know if I should use cheating as like always do what feels good, but we're having kombucha. Yes, I love this brand, especially the Clear Mind flavor by Dr. Brew. It is so good. I really do feel like I get like mad clarity when I drink this. So yes, good times. So let's jump right into today's live. It's going to be, again, I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. Yesterday's was a little over. And I'm going to try to put the topics and some titles and topics so you guys can pick and choose which lives you can go to replay and watch, okay? Again, hello if you're watching live. Hello if you're watching the replay. Feel free to comment as if you are live if you're even watching the replay. Hope that makes sense. So, as you can see from the title, today's live is all about the power of conversation and community. So yesterday and as the last 2 days that we've been doing this whole live coffee chat thing, you know I've been talking about language, right? And I shared a little bit of my story from Japan and how I was able to use conversation to be a really powerful experience for myself. And now I get to use that experience to share with you guys and help you guys on your journey. Being in a conversation, in the right conversation, is so, so powerful, okay? And so the first thing I want to get in today, I want to ask you, who are you sharing your relocation with, all right? Who are the people that you're in conversation with? And this is also your community, right? So is it your loved ones, your family and friends? Okay, obviously that's like our go-to, right? Like who else would you talk to other than like family, friends, and like I guess colleagues, right? But the thing is, you need to make sure that you are around a supportive group of people, right? Because again, this is not a normal thing to move abroad, especially during these times when more people are on edge about traveling in general. And even as things begin to open up, I'm sure more and more people are still like uneasy, right? So it is really important that you keep your circle tight when it comes to discussing and chatting about your plans to move abroad. Because the last thing you need is someone else feeding their fear and their doubts into your dream that's not yet solidified. And a little hint, most of this journey is a lot done in faith, right? So for example, when I moved to Korea, I applied to the talk program. For majority of the time I was waiting and preparing, like I was moving in faith. Like I didn't have any contract secured. There was no guarantee I would be in the program. However, I had to still go forward with the steps of securing visa, continuing with the application, packing up ship, all that stuff, until literally like, I think maybe 3 weeks before, that's when I got my contract. 3 weeks before I was said, okay, your start date. They gave me 3 weeks. So that's months, like 6 months of faith, right? And if you have 6 months of having to move forward, take action, be in the right vibration, for 6 months, it's going to be really hard if you have a lot of naysayers, a lot of people who are really scared for you. So talk to family and friends, of course, but be very selective and be unapologetic about it, right? Because this is something that's ultimately going to help not only just you, but the people you meet abroad and your family. Your family is actually going to be super inspired, or any naysayers, if they allow it, they'll be super inspired to live a bigger life just by you making the choice to live yours bigger. Yeah. So you always have to have the bigger picture in mind. So who are you sharing your relocation with? Are you sharing it with anyone at all? So if you already know, like, okay, I know my family is super negative, my friends are super closed-minded, and really this relocation is about me uprooting myself to a place where I feel more free and I'm in a space that is more conducive to my growth. So that could be your situation. So what do you do? So I think it really is important that you still have conversation, because going at this alone, of course you're alone in some ways, like, well, in a lot of ways, like, it's a lonely journey. You are deciding to uproot yourself and you're going to move forward. You're going to get on that plane, all that. But it's important for you to talk, just like any big decision in life, to talk to other people who are going to be supportive of you, okay? So obviously you can do that here in this group. I really do encourage you to network, to communicate with other people, other Facebook groups. There are tons of them. Make sure you're reaching out and you're getting the support and community that is going to really help you. Just know that you're on the right path, okay? Another way you can do that, of course, is by joining the Borderless Babes Lounge. This is my membership. It is $57 per month. I give you a free course, or not a free course, you're paying for it. I give you one course every month that moves you forward. We work on relocation prep, mindset, and living freely now, because there's no need for your in-between to be super, super sucky, right? Actually, one way we can attract what we want, the freedom lifestyle abroad, is to live freely now. And so I give a lot of good tips on how to do that. Okay, one thing that I did, so I had some family that was, like, my immediate family was basically very supportive. I was very blessed in that aspect, but I had some people in my, I can't think of the word right now, and my non-immediate family, who weren't so supportive, who were very like, you really gonna do that? Like, those questions that, like, they don't outwardly say anything negative, but they're like, and they may throw some like negative facts in there or something, like some stats they heard that are obviously, you know, the word of God or something, because who knows? Anyway, what I did is I shared my relocation in detail only with people who were like, yes, that is so cool, or I support you. I also, and this is where the community comes in also, I sought out Korean people, because I was moving to Korea. So I went to, the church I went to at that time was very like multicultural. And so what I ended up doing is getting in contact with a family, a Korean family, and they like took me out to lunch. They chatted about Korean culture. They kind of gave me some like the blunt, like, this is how it is in Korea, be prepared. And so that was really good, because I didn't go in like blinded or like ignorant. There we go. Like, I did, of course, my own research, and then I also had a personal touch, a community, people I could talk to from that culture. So who are you sharing your progress with? Okay, so that's the number 2 of today. Who are you sharing your progress with? So what I mean by that, and I'm really speaking in like a language specific way, because what can happen is if you decide to focus on learning this language and you really go in with it, making it fun, making it a consistent part of your life, there's no way you won't be able to attract the positions, the jobs, the opportunities that you want, because you're literally drawing in this experience into your now. Okay, so are you going to places where you can hear this language spoken? Like, even if it's an hour drive away. I had a past client who was like, yeah, like, my town is kind of like secluded, but if I drive an hour, I know I can find people from that culture. I can be in their cafes, I can be in their shops and their stores, and you can just start to immerse yourself. That can also be your first way of just putting yourself out there, making some friends, making some new acquaintances, whatever, saying, hey, can we sit down and have coffee? Like, I'd love to get to know you. I'm actually really curious. Like, I'm actually moving to so-and-so country, and I want to know more about it. I want to like speak to you and all that. So it's your first way of like, it's nerve-wracking because you have to put yourself out there, but you're going to be putting yourself out there on a consistent basis when you move abroad. So it is like, is this okay? As long as you're respectful, and yeah, polite, and it's all good. You just put yourself out there, you may get rejected, you may not. Here we are, okay? So yes, who are you sharing your relocation with, and who are you sharing your progress with, right? So that's like, so when you have these, I didn't finish this. So when you have these like connections with people of the culture who speak the language of your target country, you can start to have a language partner, or even just a cultural exchange partner, like someone who maybe they only know about the culture, they don't speak the language that well. Like maybe they're like Koreans, where they will be Kyopo, Korean Americans who just know about Korean culture. Maybe they don't speak the language as well, but they can teach you a little something over coffee about Korean culture. Okay, so who are you sharing your progress with? Okay, so of course, community, support, help, progress, all that is shared within the BBL, the Borderless Babes Lounge. The link to join is all over this Facebook page, so I'm not even going to put it under this. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. And next month, again, we are doing language. It's gonna be so good. I break down that conversation from Japan. I show you how to really make use of conversations where you don't understand anything and actually learn from them. I teach you some really powerful philosophies for approaching language learning, share a ton of resources, all that, okay? That's happening next month. If you join in before the 28th, you'll be able to catch our Planning with the Pandemic live Q&A discussion. That's going to be so juicy, and sharing tips of how you can plan now, what you can do now while there's a pandemic going on, how you can still make progress on your relocation journey. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, same place, here in this group.